Yeah.
Right. Right, I always find it hard to explain things. So we're going to do another level, right, on what we was going to do before. So when I first asked the Arts Council for money, I thought we was only going to do like photographs and a bit of thinking. Now that we're doing a massive installation, it's going to cost like 60 grand.
Whoa.
Yeah, because you know, for the installation, the wood, the labour, the photographs. Hey, off to. Yeah, no, we will. Yeah, we'll get the wood, but that's not for labour. That's only half the wood, all the photographs.
Yeah, I'm the only labourer, so you know,
Right.
it's got to be somebody else.
No, you need, you know, the technicians here, and you know, like proper technicians, we need an architect. Do you know what I mean, and all that, right? So that's like an outside thing. So when I started to think about that, right, I've already asked the Arts Council money, so I can't go back. So I have to ask other people for money. We'll get the money, don't worry about that. But I started to think about it deeper, and it's really, really interesting, the conversation that we've just had here, right? Because that about who is they, right? And because your average person is just like us, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? It's, right, where am I going? We don't listen to each other. There's no such thing as community. And like you said, it's divide and conquer, isn't it? Always. So what I started to get really interested in, first of all, was instead of it just being we build an exhibition, it would be built in September, and then from September till March, it would just stand there and people would just come and see it, wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? So I started, so Robert, in the other artist who you've met, he was saying, well, what about people always talk about themselves in the past from the Reno, what do you think about in the future? And I got like about the now. So I really started thinking about that. So I thought, what if it wasn't dead, it's just an exhibition, right? What if something happened in it? Do you know what I mean? Like every day, right? So then I thought about the really great thing, bigger than the actual excavation, was the memoirs. You know, that people got really addicted to nosiness, don't they? It's like, oh my God, he was a crack addict, he was whatever, they've spilled their guts. So, and also to contextualise our stories. So say like we excavated ourselves in the memoirs, then we excavated the Reno. So what if we excavated deeper than the Reno, right? So then so I was thinking of it in 5 phrases. You just have to bear with me, right? That this white people, right? Before 1947, England is a predominantly white country, isn't it? You know, before Windrush and stuff like that. So all across, I'm in loads of different Facebook groups plugging our story. And like Phil said the other day, let's get more people interested in our story. To get people interested in something, you have to give them something back. You have to give them a platform too. So in like Cheltenham Medlock and stuff like that, there's loads of people who are over 80 who are constantly trying to tell their story. So I was thinking that once we've built a Reno, right? So William Kentridge is a South African who's born in apartheid, who's born totally white and well-to-do. Both his parents are lawyers, but they did work for apartheid things. The guy who did the exhibition downstairs. So but he never says anything about where he lives. So it's kind of like, you know, you saying about the protest, he never says anything about that he's seen fucking black people leathered on the street or everything that surrounded his life, as far as I can see.
In part truth it was, that's all.
He says it in that oblique artist way, but how we've been doing our journey so far is exactly the opposite. It's like a complete fucking raw way, just tell it like it is. So if we use or recycle everything that they're going to leave from that, but don't disguise it, we're building on his legacy. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Right? So then we build our Reno, and what's the famous thing that came out? Well, it's Truth and Reconciliation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? So every single day when our exhibition is open, we should do, this is my thought, get an old white person from 1947.
Get
Get one. No, out of the Facebook, fucking get one. No, who were dying
She's
to
never
tell
doing
their...
that.
No,
Now we're doing it at the minute.
So listen from their perspective. you
from
see.
their perspective, because
Okay,
they're
yeah.
dying to tell their
Yeah, yeah.
story.
Even though it might
And not
cause
only that,
conflict
they
with
are
us.
dying.
No,
Going
but
into the arts,
that's
it's gonna be
true.
lost, it
It's
is,
going
it's
to be
gonna be
gone.
lost.
Yeah.
So, say like I'm here. So imagine our building. This is Persian behind me. Right, this big, massive, gorgeous photo. So say like one of us interviews an old white person from before. So they've got to be at least 20 in 1947 when Windrush comes. So you've got to think that they're coming from the war. Their cities are bombed and everything. They're on rations, they're fucking starving. They've nearly been taken over by the Germans, or so they've been fed that. They've been manipulated, and now another horde of people's coming to take them over. You've got to kind of get into really where they're coming from, because they're not a they. They're just, we're all pages in the same story of our life, aren't we? So you interview one of them, but you know the Reno tables, right? Say like there's 12, 15, 40 people, I don't know, you know, at the Reno table, so you spend an hour with them, let them really tell, don't interfere with them, like when I did the memoirs, don't, you know, just ask them more. And then we have a debate afterwards about what they've talked about. So you start with them, right? So say like spend a month on them, get their perspective, then the next one is that you ask black people about their country before they came here. So they're also past dated. So you do like a month on them, you know, like, say like my dad remembering, you know, the market and the sunshine and the fucking stars and whatever. But, and then the next month you do one where you ask the white people anticipating the ships coming. Do you know what I mean? Because we don't know their story. Do you know what I mean? Like, they might have been told anything, like in Brexit. Now they're living Brexit. Do you know what I mean? Like, so we get their story, but also at the same time, we start mixing it up now. We get the story of the black people coming on the ships.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
The black people come here before that.
Yeah, but we're
They,
just...
they fought in the First World War, the Second World War, they joined the Air Force. And you never see any pictures. You never see any pictures of that, do you?
Well then, I'm just, yes, so we include them along the story. We can start gathering
I'm
these.
saying these are the first black people here.
Yeah.
We're not supposed to know that they've fought in the war for the English and everything else, you know what I mean? And joined the Air Force.
So when our Reno exists, before we get to our Reno, we have these discussions about who are we going to ask these questions. We get someone who tells us that story, and then we have... But while we're having these discussions and while we're doing their memoir, Sean knows how to live stream it. So we're not just telling it to us and who's in the room, we're telling it to the world.
Yeah.
We're building a community, a massive audience, and causing a protest, like you said, Phil, that all these divides is now ending, because we're all fucking talking and listening to each other. Then the next level is once they get here, then there's transport, work, shopping and socialising, because once they're here, you've got to get on a bus with some motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? You've got to fucking work. You know, there'll be discussions about, you know, like this, like that, who's lazy, and then there's, you know, like someone comes and then gives their memoir about, you know what I mean, like the different things, and then we have this discussion, and then socialising, which we did or didn't do. But my mum and dad met in the bowling green, so they must have socialised on Grafton Street over the road.
Yeah, I think they did in them days, you know,
Yeah.
they still sort of went out with what it is. They'd only sort of go to areas where they feel comfortable.
Exactly.
We weren't going to find them, say, like in Mars Platinum, Ancoats, Clayton, Old
No, but
Fashioned,
exactly. No, but exactly, but on our journey, we can bring someone from Mars Platinum to do a memoir and just get their honest, don't interfere with what they're saying, allow them to say it.
Can we ask the questions, though?
After they've told their memoir, allow them to let themselves out.
Okay.
Even mixed race kids that were in Mossad, the Reno brought them from all over.
Yes,
world.
exactly.
Yeah.
But we'll
To one
arrive
side,
there.
Because where they were brought up, they were disadvantaged, horribly wrong.
Film them.
Yeah, ostracised.
Really,
I
yeah.
know, yeah.
They
Counts
were,
in uncles.
it was
Yeah,
terrible.
you know.
Even as close as Bellevue area.
Yeah, Gordon
Yeah,
will
Gordon.
be there as
There
well.
were kids,
I'm
to
sorry.
the mixed race kids
Yeah.
down there.
But they must have had, I'm just being lenient, right? The memoirs that I did, I was lenient on everybody. I could have gone, I know things, don't I? I've lived around people. I could have gone, well,
Yeah.
but if we bring them into our, as a playwright, right? It's not what some fucker says. It's what they don't say. Do you know what I mean? There's always a wave of something else coming. So if we bring them in and do their memoir with them, and then we have a discussion afterwards, which they're part of, and we ask them questions, and it's live streamed, so everybody who watches them and gets interested, as they got interested in the memoir, can feed in questions live as well. Do you know what I mean? What was the next one? So there's socialising, and then the fifth one is love, innit? But then there's like black women who fucking came to this country on the next wave of boats. The fella's now got half-caste kids and a white woman. Do you know what I mean? There's all the
Two
white women who
families.
get...
And the Africans was the same.
Yeah.
And then there's, but in an English country, they don't differentiate a black person
Oh,
from a black person.
Yeah, they don't.
They all came over on one boat, the one boat. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's different because Africans didn't come over that way, did
No,
they?
exactly, but that's all the
Yeah,
stories.
Jamaicans, it was before
Yeah.
Africans, it was stowaways.
Stowaways,
But that
Yeah.
was the legal immigrant.
Yeah, so
But-
did mine.
So they'll be telling us the story we don't know, but we'll be telling them that story that they don't know, or that they presume that the black guys was pimps and my mum and dad was in love. I watched my mum and dad be in
There
love.
were a lot of pins.
Of course there was.
Yeah, but they weren't all.
But
No,
not
they
all.
weren't. That's
Some
all
of
it
it
was.
was.
No, but I'm
All
just...
the factories were full of black men working there as well.
No,
I
exactly.
think it's the next
Kellogg's,
generation
Kellogg's,
down
lots of black guys working at Kellogg's.
I ended up with lung cancer from Turner's.
Turner's asbestos, my dad died.
I worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad.
But these are all stories that we get led to hate each other.
Because
And because we don't talk. But a definite thing to undo that, to start to undo that, is if we start to fucking listen to each other. Do you know what I mean? And it's totally groundbreaking. Do you know, like to not do this whole, oh, I'm disadvantaged and I'm black and I've had nothing, but to control the situation. Do you know what I mean?
You change
Not
it.
we're a token,
Yeah.
but we're controlling this.
But we were only controlling it from now through what you're doing, Linda.
Well, that...
Not from what we're all doing then.
Yeah.
I don't mean from what you're
Yeah.
doing, but
Yeah, but
your-
from what you started.
your idea.
Yeah, but it's...
I always say it was your thought. You had a thought one day wherever it was, and you had an idea, and you went to a dream, and you went to a passion, and then it took you to where we are today, and you brought us with us. You brought us on board, and some wanted to be there for the party. But we've come further down
And
the
a lot
line
of
from the
them would
party.
criticise you.
Oh God, yeah.
Well, I don't need to know that.
Yeah.
But I put two fingers up to them.
Yeah, I put 4.
Yeah.
I'll show them the ass in a minute. Yeah, no, but the thing is...
We all have 80s, don't we?
No, but let's not divert with negativity from what's
Anytime you try
possible.
to do anything,
So
there's
this
always
is totally possible
opposition. And it's horrible.
to give us a voice, because you said the other day, let's make our thing bigger and get more people involved. But as long as it's only about us, that's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
So you're
But if
looking at
we're
the
saying,
picture, yeah.
come on board, we're
Yeah.
willing to listen to you, you listen to us, do you know what I mean? Like, we'll all get bigger, we'll all get a voice, we'll all get to talk. Loads of other... Every time I go and talk at, like, museum things or something like that, there's always mixed-race people, immigrants. Yeah, no, but other mixes. Do you know what I mean? Who don't have a voice either, who are eager to come and join us, so let's give them something to do when we're here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Because it's
mean?
their history as well, because they're part of it, because we're descended from white people as well.
Yeah, no, exactly. exactly. So it's like a truth and reconciliation, you know, like when they got, do you know what I mean? But what's interesting and what's great and what I'm selling it to get the rest of the money back is that if we come from the William Kentridge thing, it's like a really artistic thing to do, that we're coming from someone who lived apartheid to create our own end of apartheid.
Honestly, I think you'll just get it from your solid idea from what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? For actually just, mediating a conversation between different people who live in this country and going back and looking at what
exactly,
happens,
and recording on our website, recording their story, because we're all, Bruce Forsyth's part of our story, do you get what I mean? Anybody who's lived while we live, we're pages in the same book. Do you know what I mean? When we're all dead, that book ends, don't it?
Yeah, so instead of being a little footnote,
yeah,
we'll
exactly.
have a chapter.
We'll all have a chapter, and they're part of our chapter. And they've been, nobody, well, they probably do, but they've been tricked, like Brexit is getting tricked now into thinking a certain way about refugees. They probably were tricked into thinking a certain way about black people, you know, to not want them here.
Yeah, because if it's a white person telling you, then it's not like a black person telling you, here's how it is. We're telling the truth, you've got nothing to hide whatsoever. Here's the truth. If they don't like it, that's down to them. And I like some of the things a white person's got to say, especially if they're like 70 odd or 80, because they'll still have imperialism.
No, exactly. Exactly. I used to do 1 minute, Sean, I used to do a playwriting group, everybody was over 80. It was shocking, but it's just who they are.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's what we've been brought up.
It's like now, in Brazil, the Nazi Party winning.
Yeah.
In Brazil, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Yeah. In Brazil, that the Nazi Party is winning.
No, because that's where they all went when they escaped the war. Come on, Sean.
And then people are winning.
Yeah, it's
all over Europe as
all
well.
over
It's
Europe.
very it's very current in the age of misinformation as well. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Large, one of the biggest tools for our time has been the richest use of technology and media to warp perception of what's going on out there.
Exactly,
You know
so
what I
they
mean?
must have been warped as well. They're reading, we're more savvy, aren't we? But they're reading to them literally what is in a newspaper or literally what they would believe it, wouldn't they?
It's true that, because the page that Susie runs, there's some lot of facts on there now. When you look at English history, it's telling you a completely different thing. So what they're doing, they're telling us, they're teaching in the curriculum lies. Just tell me the truth, it doesn't matter. If it was nasty, I'll just go, well, that's how it was then, but they sort of make it this way where the African and the Jamaicans, that there was these primitive people, and it just wasn't that way.
But if they're in our space, like anybody who came to the excavation, like Margaret and Alicia and things, they become one of us, like John. Do you know what I mean? We become like a community anyway, don't we? So if they're coming in our space, they're going to love us anyway, and we're going to love them. We're going to get stronger.
I think if they come with an open mind, yeah, but they still might be bigoted.
Well, they wouldn't come if they didn't have an open mind. If they just hated us, they're not going to come here, are they?
Yeah, but you're creating a space where you're not going to attack them personally. They're creating a space where they're aware.
The biggest battle will be to change those people's minds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That you will. It's easy going against people who are open-minded.
But I'm not
they're not the
even,
people we have to change.
Sean, I'm not even interested in changing them.
No.
They'll be dead soon, I don't think. But it's true. But, I mean, we talked about mental health the other day, mental illness, right? A lot of our mental illnesses, it's not nothing that some fucker spat in our pram. It's not, Barry told a story about that. There was white guys walking down the street, and at a certain time, the half-caste guys would part and let them pass. That's not enough. Those things are fucking weighed on us, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if they're sat and we're sat and then there's a conversation, it will all end for us. I'm not looking, nothing will ever change everything. Nothing will ever, it'll just begin again. But in our lifetime, it's our story. Yeah. It's our time to do magic now.
They're
do you know what I mean?
face to face with people who have these thoughts or whatever, and we can both say what we feel without it being aggressive. Whereas in the past it would always turn to aggression, violence or whatever. We're doing it in a open-minded one-sided frame. That's how I look.
Yeah.
In an intellectual way. Because
And in
that's
an
what it is.
int- yeah.
If you're debating about things.
And it is a debate. And it is a debate.
And we'll end on March the 2020 with a fucking massive event here. Do you know what I mean? Where we're all together. Do you know what I mean? Like that. It's not just us being anarchic and having a Reno do, where it's fucking everybody and a solidarity, and we'll have done something truly groundbreaking. Do you know, instead of all that, but instead of all that, oh, this happened to me because I'm black and that happened to me. Do you know what I mean? Let's go underneath it. Do you know what I mean? Like, look underneath
even
it.
though that has happened to us because we've come out of it.
Yes.
We've survived. We are survivors.
No, but Myra said, right, really early on before we started doing this official in one meeting, she said, I was pregnant and the next thing people come and took me to Burford. I don't know what happened. And it's like, because your baby's black.
Yeah.
No, but she's a poor fucking woman at this age for 40 odd years. Don't know why her life drastically. She hadn't robbed anyone. She hadn't, do you know what I mean? She just had sex with someone that she fancied at the time.
I got put in there because I kept running away from it.
Well, there you go. But because we're certain colours and from certain backgrounds, that happened to us whether we liked it or not. Because we've got no extended family either. Do you know what I mean? Like, loads of our mums are not with their family anymore. Our black families are in other... We've got no protection. You know, do you know what I mean? In Gorton, in a white family, your nana lives in the next street. Your uncle lives... They've got an extended family. Some fucker tried to take them to court, take them in a home. Some fucker would jump in. Do you know what I mean? But anything could happen to us. And it did. Yeah? That's all I have to say.
Okay, so let's go looking for all white.
There's one here!
There's one there!
No,
Start with him.
I've got it here in black and white. Before 1947.
No, but they have to be at least 10, don't they, to have a proper
Yeah,
memory.
to remember.
So they have to be born in at least 1937 to have a proper memory. But I'm really interested to know what they thought about the shit.
I'm born in 1943 and I'm 75.
Right, so...
So to find someone who was big enough,
I'm in Chorlton and
you're talking
Medlock.
about 90
yeah.
No, but I'm in Chorlton and Medlock, and you, and you know, like Facebook.
I didn't go to all folks, so...
No, but that's true. That's true.
Yeah,
you know, people what's not lost it as like
No,
dementia
exactly.
and that.
Yeah,
You're
but that's
talking
true.
about 90-odd-year-old people.
Yeah, but wouldn't they like to tell their story? They're not all lost their marbles.
Not all of them, because even that programme on Channel 4 where they've got the kids from nursery going in, it's changed their people's lives.
Exactly.
It's changed their
And
lives. Somebody else something to do.
Hasn't it? You know, it's woke them up. They were
But
in
like
the-
this has woke us up because we've told our story and we've done something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's listening to their story. I think that's all I have to say.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
What's homework?
What time is it?
I'm going in 5 minutes.
It's 7:10.
Where's your
It's
10 past? Where's your
10
recording?
past
10 past.
eight.
I've got
Where's
it
your
live.
catch-up?
On it live.
So go on, let's hear anybody's feedback or anybody who's got anything to say. So that's the journey, and I even know what months will happen and everything.
I think it's fantastic. I think it's great.
So can we
I
ask,
think it's
who are
great.
you going to, Linda, to ask for the funds? What?
Heritage Lottery Fund.
Okay.
So it's who else? The university. I've already started the process time and I've already having the conversations.
I know, yeah,
You know
but
what I
I'm just
mean?
doing this for notes.
Oh, okay.
Which I know you're already
Yeah,
doing.
I
but
can't
it's
remember
good
off the
to-
top of my head.
Right, so just putting funding.
Yeah,
And it's just interesting to know who you're going to.
yeah, I can't think. Heritage. We'll get it. Don't worry, we'll get it.
Hey, listen to this. Only 4 days ago, I was 65 2 years ago, so I didn't claim the state pension. So I've been back paid that, and I've got nearly £8,000.
Oh, well, let's get you the first person. Well, let's
Off to the pub afterwards, everybody. Where can we go?